Hey, thank you for joining the Photo Flunky Show, episode number 76. Today's show, we're going to be talking about 7 reasons you need to celebrate your success as a photographer. Hi, and welcome. My name is William Beem.
Hi, my name is William Beem.
And we really think that you need to be a successful photographer and you need to tell everybody about it. But before we get started with that, let me just let you know that show notes are going to be available at williambeem.com/episode 76. And of course, you can find a transcript of the show there for free. Links to subscribe are on the show notes page and also at photoflunky.com, which includes, all of our other old episodes. So if you haven't listened to us before, or if you need to go back and check an old episode for something, just go to photoflunky.com. Everything's right there. And before we get on to it, one more thing. I've got a free ebook. It's called Creative Portraits, and it is more about the emotional and creative side of taking portraits and the technical issues that you go through. It's yours for free, and we encourage you to share it with anybody if you want to. The address is williambeem.com/free book, or if you've just got your mobile phone, go ahead and text the phrase CP book to the number 33444. All right, let's get to the meat of it. Why should you celebrate your success as a photographer? I think you should celebrate success at anything you do because it kind of turns things around as from, are you doing a task or a chore or a job, or are you doing something that's really creative and fun? And then when you get through with it, you kind of want to have just a little bit of a release. It could be anything from, I'm glad I did that. Maybe I'll have a nice glass of iced tea, to I'm having a full-on party with everybody who was on our crew, and we're going to go out and have a nice meal.
It also works as a bit of attitude training. You channel yourself into a positive or a negative mindset. It can either be critical or it could be picking up the good bits and focusing on those and treating the things that didn't go to plan as learning curves instead of seeing them as fails.
And we've got 7 reasons. We're going to get into those, but I want to tell you what you're celebrating. You're celebrating your success. And that could be anything from the completion of a shoot, the good work of the members of your team. It could be the fact that you've booked a contract. It could be the fact that maybe you've delivered on something that you've been working hard on. And this doesn't matter if you're working with a team or if you're working as an individual. We think that there are reasons to celebrate your accomplishments and achievements, and it really makes photography a lot more enjoyable.
It really does.
So let's go on and how you benefit from celebrating your success as a photographer. And as Lee just mentioned, it forces you to concentrate on positive results instead of negative issues.
Yep. Perception is reality.
It is, but there's also the fact that if you know that if you do a good job and you have a success and there is a reward at the end, I think you get a bit more upbeat about it. It kind of forces you to focus on, how do I make sure that I'm successful? If there's no consequence, whether you're successful or you fail, it's very easy, I think, to get wrapped up in things that go wrong. And then you start fighting fires instead of working on delivering results.
Yes. You fail to see the big picture. You can get too caught up in every little issue and detail, and those can be important, but when you lose sight of the bigger picture, it can be detrimental to you.
Even if you're doing this as a hobby and all you want to do is share a nice photo on social media, that's a very rewarding feeling. But if you have a miserable time getting to that point, you may not even want to share the photo at all, because it might remind you of the fact that, okay, there's a tourist in my way. Maybe I had a bad time on a set. And you kind of want to get past those. You want to concentrate on the things that were enjoyable, and then you get to celebrate them. And that it just kind of becomes a cycle of positives rather than the negatives.
Absolutely.
If you are working with other people, I think point number 2 is really a good one. It unifies the team, because that way it's not just a matter of your success, but then it becomes the team's success. And that could be a small team, simply as a photographer and a model or subject. It could be also including a photographer assistant, a hair and makeup artist, people who've helped you with set design, anybody that's helping you create the photograph. You're the director. You're the one in charge, and essentially you're the leader of this photo shoot. So you want to make sure that everybody knows what their role is and how they can achieve success. People don't want to fail. They want to succeed.
True.
And particularly if they know that there's a little reward at the end of it, they'll work harder and work together to make sure that the shoot is successful.
Absolutely. I think that's nice for your very essential but often seen as just often forgotten support team. You mentioned a makeup artist. That's a really good example of somebody who has such an important role in getting your subject prepared for the shoot. It's all very nice to say thank you so much, well done everybody at the end. But how often does a photographer, and this is a genuine question, I'm not saying they do or don't, how often does a photographer go to the makeup artist afterwards and say, "Do you know, you did a wonderful job with the makeup. It just has helped me so much and taken so much hassle out of my photo shoot for me."
A good makeup artist really does deliver a lot of results because they'll understand how makeup works on camera and with flash or something like going off. The typical cosmetics that you would maybe use as a consumer are not necessarily the same ones that you want to use for a photo shoot. And they're aware of what's going to create shine, what's going to create reflection.
Yes.
They're also aware of how are they going to shape and tone facial features and makeup can go well beyond that. I mean, some people are going into body paint, some people are going into costume and design. Those people are, I think, critical to your success. And you need to give them a clear vision of what you're looking for so they can deliver success. And of course, your subject, whoever they're helping out, whether it be hair and makeup or whether it also include wardrobe, they're going to feel better if they're confident that they look good and the hair or makeup person has done a good job. It's going to make them feel better to deliver better results when they're in front of the camera.
I absolutely agree.
So I think all of that, as far as unifying the team, for a portrait shoot, it really is a team effort. You have to collaborate with others. Everybody wants to be successful. And if you give them a little celebration at the end of it and they know that's coming, if everything works well, I think really does help everybody succeed. All right, number 3, this one is somewhat science-based, and I'm going to say somewhat simply because I'm not a scientist. But from everything I know, celebration makes you feel better. It releases endorphins. When you're having a good time, you want to keep having a good time. And there is some little chemical inside your body with the endorphins and who knows what else. It just makes you feel better. That's even before you start cracking open any adult beverages.
Well, smiling is good for the mood. The wine won't hurt, but smile first.
Honestly, it just makes you feel better. Celebrations are, by their very nature, people want to be happy at a celebration.
Yes.
So I think that's a good one in itself. Number 4, celebrating success develops a success mindset. In other words, this is the cycle that you want to get into. You want to be successful. You feel successful. You want to have that success come again. And it just kind of repeats itself. Your mind changes from what can go wrong today, how do I mitigate that, to how do I make sure things go right?
Yes, I think it's just getting yourself onto the mental path. In different areas of life, I refer to it as attitude training. And it's really not a scientific or complicated thing. It's just, how am I going to let my mind approach this?
What we're talking about with this one really, I think, is how do you prepare and how do you manage yourself and how do you follow up with a photo shoot? Whether you're by yourself doing a landscape or whether you're working with a team, you still have to think ahead. The question is, are you going to be thinking about what can go wrong? Or are you going to be thinking about how do I make sure everything goes right?
Yeah, and I think also if you go in there with the attitude that you're going to find the things that go right, except that generally very few times does everything go right. There are issues. That's life. That's a challenge that everybody's going to face. But if you go in there expecting to extract the good stuff out and enjoy it afterwards, that becomes your focus. And I think it helps you cope better with the things that don't go the way you've planned them.
Well, and you kind of went to it when you said that goes with your focus, and your focus becomes your reality. Yeah, things can go wrong. But if you have a successful mindset, if you've got a positive attitude about it, you can roll with it much more easily. And I think that kind of helps you, especially if you're working with a team. What you're feeling is going to convey to everybody else in the team. If you're having a bad day, they're going to have a bad day. Yeah. If you've got an adaptable mindset and it's like, okay, we're going to succeed, we're going to get a photo out of this that everyone's going to enjoy, that makes them feel much more comfortable and they can do their work with confidence.
I think your focus at the outset and your approach to something determines what you're going to extract from it and what is going to dominate your overview at the end.
Right. Number 5, celebrating success positions you as a winner and leads to more success. By that, I'm talking almost about marketing. If you're telling other people, whether it's on social media or whether you're engaging with them, that you're celebrating success, they kind of get it in their mindset. Wow, this person's good because they're always happy. They're always successful. They're always celebrating. I want to be like that. Or it may be like, I want to hire somebody like that. I want to follow somebody like that. You not only want to celebrate your success, you want to let other people know about it. And that is kind of how you build up your reputation to be someone that others want to engage with, others want to follow. And I think that's, one of the nice benefits of celebrating your success is other people pay attention to it.
They do. And I mean, just in any area of life, if I'm looking for somebody to follow because I'm not sure where to go. Somebody who's erratic or indecisive or doesn't seem to be very set on, I know what I'm doing, is not going to become my leader by choice.
No. And the good advice, for photographers is show your good work. Don't show anything that, isn't up to your standards or levels. Well, when you show your good work and you show that you're successful, that's the impression that you build.
Yes.
And that's exactly what you want others to see about your work.
And if you want to show stuff that where you were disappointed or where you use it as a learning curve because it didn't work out, don't share it as a fail, share it as a stepping stone to your success.
And that's something that I do on the blog. I will show photos that said, all right, this didn't work out. And here's the reason why. But here's what I learned from it. And here's how I overcame the problem. Here's how I got to my success. And then I got to celebrate.
Yes.
Number 6, sharing celebration encourages others to support your success. And this is similar to the people that you want to follow you, but it's also going back to part of your team. Or if you need to maybe engage with someone else that you haven't before, people are more likely to help someone who's a successful photographer than someone who's not. So for example, you want to go to a location and say, I would really like to shoot here.
Yeah.
They see you, they do some research, they check you out, find out you're a successful photographer because you've been telling everybody you're successful and you're celebrating your success. You're not going out and say, hey, I'm a successful photographer. You just say, I had a really good shoot. I had a wonderful result. Here it is. We're going off to celebrate tonight.
You don't have to say it. You're putting it out there without the words.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're showing people rather than telling people when you share your celebrations.
And you're going to draw people in as well who are wanting to celebrate their own success, but maybe don't feel it's worthy enough. And I use that word very loosely, but we're often so critical of our own efforts. And it can encourage other people to come on. That also falls into the great way to network because you can encourage other people. And when you're helping other people, it becomes a kind of a team effort, even if you're going in different directions.
And Lee just mentioned number 7. It is a great way to network. If there is a subject that you really want to work with, if there's a location you really want to go to, it kind of was with number 6, but it's a great way to network because your name and reputation get out there, maybe even before you've met someone. And it's really nice if someone comes and says, oh yeah, I've heard of you. And that makes it much easier to network. It makes it much easier to potentially collaborate with someone in the future.
Yes.
So sharing your success by showing your celebration of your success is really, not only is it good for your mind and soul and the people that are working with you, but it's also a really good marketing tool, I think.
It really is.
And really helps people want to work with you.
Yes.
Let's do a little what if. I've mentioned a number of times if you have a team, if you're doing a portrait shoot or you've got a commercial shoot and there's a whole bunch of people involved. But for many photographers, it is a personal experience. And doing a celebration may not necessarily be going out and having, a nice, lovely dinner alone. But there are simple little things that you can do to celebrate. I know Lee does little photo shoots every day. And at the end of them, she kind of stands up and jumps around and does a little happy dance.
I do. Sometimes I take photos of those and share them as well.
Celebration doesn't necessarily have to be something that is over the top. It's not like you're going out necessarily and popping champagne corks because, yay, I just took another photo. But you just want to find those little happy moments. You want to find the little rewards, things that make you happy. And then that way, when you're sharing your wonderful photos, you also want to share the fact that this made you happy, this was successful, and that you find it reason to celebrate.
Absolutely. And for me, sometimes that you need to open your mind and look a little bit more broadly than just the photography aspect. We've spoken before at Williams, his approach of taking, photography for him is telling a story. I don't term it like that, but he's right on the money with that. I mean, we really are sharing and communicating something personal through photography. So it becomes a tool. For me, the photo might not necessarily be the greatest photo. I'm not criticizing it or celebrating it from a technical point of view, but I'm actually celebrating the message that it's conveying. And sometimes I put something nice together and people love it. And my way of celebrating is to share and say, something. Feel free to download it and help yourself. I'm not talking about photographs of myself, but sometimes I put up, something that people see as motivational or encouraging or something they really like. And that is, for me, that is a celebration. I love being able to share things, but I'm not throwing out things loosely. I want to share something that actually means something, or should I say has value to somebody. Don't kind of get into a tunnel vision, open your mind beyond what we've discussed and find something that captures what you're doing and is a way to celebrate your success.
And the celebration is personal if you're working on your own. It can be anything you want to be. It doesn't have to be over the top. finding a way to acknowledge that you've done something good, something creative, something that makes you happy. And if you think about taking photos as telling a story, as I do, then think about your celebration as your happy ending. Thank you so much for listening to the Photo Flunky Show. Hope you enjoyed it. As I said before, show notes are going to be available at williambeem.com/episode 76, and you can get a transcript of the show there for free. There are going to be links there to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play Music, and others. And of course, you can listen to all of our episodes at photoflunky.com. One last call to let you know that we've got a free ebook, Creative Portraits. Just go to williambeem.com/freebook or text the phrase CP Book to 33444. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next week.